Hello, welcome back. My name is Calcinez, and welcome to Cal's Market Company. We're going to go over resin 3D printers. So this is one recently that people have seen my little shorts, and also some on the Facebook as well, which is the little short reels. This is the one I have been. I like it very much. I do. I want to say that really helped me out very much about it, because again, this one did fantastic. I do love the details of it and how it came out. That was fantastic. And that there's a lot more I have done, but I kind of like restrain myself because of some few areas which I'm going to talk about too as well, and also too as well to talk about safety and handling. So, and also too as well, it doesn't work as the same thing as a slicer, which is the 3D printing, which is fused deposit material that melt plastic. This one is a resin material that actually uses a stereolithography, which uses a very fine LED lights inside this machine, which is the Mars 2P Pro, and it just uses small lights to actually cure the liquid resin material. So the resin material is very viscous material. It's a thermal set material, so it's not as a let's see, what was it? There's two type of plastics in the families that varies differently. One is a thermoplastic that melts easily, which, sorry about that, I need to rephrase that one. So it's thermoplastic melts easily, which is easy to melt, like PLA. Then there's HDPE, PET, PETG, ABS, etc., etc. You get the idea. Now, however, the other one will be a, I would say it's like a thermal set material, different structure. So what does that mean? That there's some plastics that are one-time use only. I thought there's another plastic that actually does that, but again, I guess that one doesn't exist anymore, or that the resource was a little bit wrong. So apparently there's no such plastic that actually sets itself. There's other plastic which is called the resin. There's some that can be used as an epoxy. One can be used as a silicone mold. That's a one-time use only thermoset. Then another one is the there's another plastic that I don't remember that, and it's the tip of my tongue. But these are the ones of the family members that doesn't recycle and it doesn't reheat itself. For other plastic, if you see the numbers onto it or that little symbol of the triangle, yeah, you can recycle that one. However, for these ones right here that doesn't recycle, the silicone, rubber, there you go. And then the other one was the resins or any type of epoxy liquid materials. If it's like a one-time use only, that's it. That's all it has to use right now. That's the only thing. It'll be the downside of it, that it'll be used only one time. You cannot reverse it. It can be used only for what certain obstacles can be used for the resin material. So this is the one I have right now. This is a different printer. If you do have a different printer, or if you do have one, awesome, kudos for you. However, there's some of the downside, pros and cons of it. So I will discuss that. So let's go on to this right now. Now, these ones will actually vary on different type of materials. So here's some examples I have been using right now recently, which is this guy right here, the Anycubic, and also the smaller versions. Whoops, that came out of there. So there's two type of weights. There is 500 grams, and this is a 1,000 kilogram, or 1 kilogram, or 1,000 grams. So this is the 500 grams. This is the 1 kilogram. So there's a big difference right now. But this printer right now, it uses a 500 grams. So it'll be used for that one. Luckily, I like this color, which is the gray. I love this one very much. I like it, except for the clear ones. There's some downside of it, so kind of be careful on that one later on in the future, which I'll discuss that right now. Now, there are some areas that I do like about this printer, and others areas that is a bit cautious on your side. And also too as well is the software itself. The software is a lot more different than the other one, than the fused deposit material. That one uses a stereolithography slicer, and it's not the same thing as the other one where you actually calibrate it. You calibrate the time it sets at the bottom and the time it'll cure itself on the light, and how long it has to be at the bottom of the bath. The other settings should be no big difference, depending what it is, but we'll check those out later on in the future. But right now we're just talking about this one and how it looks right now. So some of it I can use, which is the few testings, which I did, few of them, which is this little guy right here. The castles did some various sizes, which is the large, medium, and it can get to the smallest one. Hopefully the camera can zoom into it. There you go. So it has done very fantastic. I do love it, including the small details from the inside, which I'm gonna look inside. It does very fantastic. I do love this one right here. And also with the compared to the bigger one, this little bigger guy right here, I'm gonna let it zoom in. There you go. This one actually does, oops, sorry. Come on, there you go. So it all focus right now, but look at the inside of it. Very fantastic with the details and much more hollow from the inside. And it does very fantastic with jewelries, which is I do love that one too as well. So I'm gonna do a little more of a course on that one to actually have somebody else do jewelries. This is the crystal one with the Thor hammer necklace. So this came out fantastic. I do love it. And also there's a little hollow from the inside of there, so you can actually see like a little hollow inside. That's good. That way you don't have to waste material. Other tests too as well I actually did was a circular cylinder to see how well it can actually do itself. It did fantastic. I do like it, but it's just that there's a little bit more of the issues with my side, which I'm trying to cure it. So afterwards, and after that, trying to do one with a little more advanced area, which is like tilting at the 45-degree angle. Did fantastic too as well, which I do like it. So I'm just gonna use this as a demonstration to actually show how it looks like with the supports and also with the angle. Did some with the squares too as well, which is this guy, but it failed miserably because I think I used the different settings before, which is fine as long as I did okay. Now, and also too as well with the plate itself. So I did this one fantastic, which is this guy right here. Did a fantastic plate, so did very well on the disc. Now, so I played around with it a lot more. I thought I was gonna get a bigger size mascot right here, which is the Godzilla. I do like this guy, very fantastic, but I'm gonna discuss why it's like a bit difficult to do that one. And also do it with the Dilophosaurus too as well, right here. So I do love this little guy, the crystal one, so it did fantastic. I love the details of it. And some of my favorite mascots I think I have, oh, it's not over here, be right back. And also did some fantastic mascot too as well, which is this guy. I love it. This one came out fantastic, big, very well detailed. I do love it, and also with the fragile of the area too as well. But this is the only one that is a lot more bigger than the Godzilla one because I actually modified the height of it, and I had to do it before the modify. I should have done that with the Godzilla one because that way it'll tell me where's the exact height for the printer. So the printer itself is about a 4x3x5. I noticed it. Not that big of a space, but again, it did fantastic with a whole bunch of area. Did fantastic with the test too as well. The test cube. Did some destruction tests with this right now with the cylinders, some of the cubes. Some of the cylinders did not print it very well. Did the pyramid, which is fantastic. I do love that one, and including the squares, except it failed some few areas, but it's okay. That's fine. Did fantastic with the amount of the thinning area, so it did fantastic. I do like that one, including this one with the test itself with the lines for the inlay or engrave. Actually did itself, but a little more to the thinner one. It doesn't do very well. Then I went with the test and testing one too, with the biggest and smallest. Did fantastic, including the holes itself as well. Whoops. Did the half cylinder from the longest elongation of how far it can actually go to. Then some of these ones too as well with the holes. There's one with the circles, triangle, and the half cylinder. Those are the tests I actually trying to do to see how well it can actually handle itself. Did fantastic. That's good. Sorry for the resolution, guys. And also the overhangs itself on this one. So it did fantastic on the overhangs from the 45-degree angle on the cylinder itself. So it did fantastic and does very well with the overhangs. Because again, actually I didn't do this with no support, so it did very fantastic, including this the donut itself. It did very well at the fine details to actually hold it down. Except some areas. This one was supposed to be the ice cream, and the other side, I don't know. This side was supposed to be the ice cream. This one's supposed to be the diamond itself. So you can see the diamond. It did fantastic. I do love the shape of it and also the texture. However, this little small area, it did broke off, which that was okay because I want to know how well it can actually handle itself from at the point, including the ice cream cone too as well. Let's go zoom down one. Ice cream cone too as well is supposed to be over here, but came off as well. Very fragile at the point of it, but it's okay. That's what we're supposed to do to see how well it can actually adhere from at the tip of it. I need to do some measurement to see how far that one held up very well and go from there. And after that, from there, did some few more of the raise area, which I do love about it. Whoops. Okay, that was not important. These ones are the interesting one of all, where it actually gave me the arrays of printing into one set. So this came out fantastic on all these guys right here. Did the tower itself. The tower itself, I love it, where it actually came out fantastic. I do love the details of the, oops, sorry. Move out of the way. Let's see. Um, there we go. So it did fantastic, very well from the details. Came out very well, and also from the inside too as well. Very fantastic. I do love it from the very fine details of it. So I really like this guy. It really did fantastic. I love it. Which, because again, this is Elegoo Mars 2 Pro, which is P. That's the reason why. Now there's some downside of it, or actually some good one too as well. I printed my favorite one of all, the Stormtrooper. So did fantastic. I will just explain why it didn't do very well rather than the other way around. So, but the good news was that I do like it because it actually helped me out with my business. Some of the few area light details of it. It helped me out fantastic with the awards for the students itself. Did some prototyping to actually help me out along the way. I do love it too as well from the prototyping. Mess around with the 3D printing and also how you fuse them together. Came out with this guy right here, the trophy itself. I do love it with the Navajo culture, mixing with the technology inside of there, and also with the lattice structure and how it came out with the geometry feature. This was a failed one because I didn't put enough resin onto it, which I will discuss that one later. But this is how it came out from this guy, off of this crystal one. Whoops. See, told you this is very difficult. But this came out. Oh, so this was a failed one too as well. Failure because again, it actually didn't do very well. Now, let me show you the final result, how it came out from all the arrays of those trophies. Never mind. Okay, I put it away for, I think it was like for storage. Okay, never mind. But you get the idea because this one came out fantastic. I made a whole bunch of trophies. Hopefully, oh no, I don't think I posted on it. This might be on the website for the history, what we did recently for the high schoolers. It's for free, like a free community service. Basically just like to show students that they've been appreciated, congratulations, etc., etc. But also, I love this one because it helped me out with my pass out my logos and my franchise and merchandise too as well. Printed a lot of these ones right here with these arrays of assembly, which is the assembly line for my logo, which is Counts Market Company. And I do love it. Made it into a keychain. I love it too as well. Made the right thickness of it, made the right density, and it came out fantastic. So that was a great news as well. Now, have I done any sort of models besides Star Wars, Godzilla, and the dinosaurs? I have tried that too as well. I was gonna try it with another customer, which I failed for the 3D printer. It came out okay with the Kakashi itself. Basically, there's like a free one for the only one person. That was it. There was no money involved. It was just like a free trophy one that I had to resolve with 3D printer. But this one right here, you have to be careful because of some of the areas that was difficult. You have to be careful of how well you download it, and you have to look into the slicing itself because some of the legs came off as it is, and also the head too as well. It came off because of the weak structure on the neck. I hope I can see that. So bring this guy over here. I think you can see it. Hold on, proof. Nope. You can't really see it, but it's okay. There we go. So basically the neck, it did not improve very well. I did the one with the Naruto. That was fantastic. I do love it, but same issues again. The legs was so skinny it actually broke itself, and it was so fragile. And also his head became decapitated. So there's his neck. But also I didn't notice that it was so skinny on the neck that it actually did broke off onto the body. So there were some big issues around that area too as well. So that's one of the ones you had to be careful of, like how you look at the resin material first. That's what you have to do post process before you print them out, because again, it depends how well it actually print out. If your files is okay, it'll be solid piece. Like this TX right here, I do love him right here. I like it, very fantastic. Some of you are wondering that did I took a lot of resin onto this one? Not really. I made it hollow from the inside, so that's good news. That way I had to waste entire resin material onto this guy, but it's like a strong buddy because he has a solid structure. But some of the areas are fragile, which is his teeth, tongue, and his little chicken arms. But yeah, sorry. And then after that, like I said, with the Kakashi and also Godzilla too as well, this one was a big issue because he is very fragile. Yes, that's great, which is interesting. I thought I hollowed him out, but he's really solid base, which is good. But on the fins, it's kind of difficult because it's very fragile, including the Dilophosaurus and the Star Wars. You notice that he has some few hollows because I didn't really check the profile to see if everything else is already set to go. So you have to be careful. You have to do post-processing and how you actually manage it. And also too, I didn't notice that there are some few areas that has some issues, which is this guy. This guy came out fantastic. I do love it. However, I have done it like multiple times on this guy right here, which is, you got to see how many arrays I have done onto these guys. So these guys were set onto here. I do like it. That was fantastic, which is right here. It sits on top of it right here at an angle. That way it'll get the details and the fine area. However, which I'm going to tilt this camera this way, and this is what it looks like right here on this pile. So this is what you get on this pile of amount of supports apparently. And yeah, this is the downside of it, where it's a bit wasted onto the material and you cannot recycle this guy. Right now I'm trying to recycle it too as well, trying to transfer it into a different area, which I saw some good interesting videos that I saw, so I'm going to do some experiment on that one. However, this is what it looks like right here on the downside of it, that this is what you'll be encountering all the time. And then over there on my shelf, you will get this one too as well, the amount of resin bottles itself, and these are all empty in the back. The black ones are empty, including this brown one. The one thing I do have is this large one container, because it actually takes a lot of these resin supports and the materials. So is there a way for me to actually remove some of the supports off of it? I wish I went to say yes. However, if you remove some of the supports onto there, you will get to this guy right here, which it'll lessen itself on the materials, so it'll give you this bad structure. But if you add in more supports, it'll give you this right here, a lot of these structures on the supports, but it'll give you a good product. Now, some of you are wondering, like, how do you cure it? I have a little miniature curer, which is a ultraviolet, but the biggest downside of it is that you have to clean it yourself. It's not like the same thing as the PLA, because PLA you can actually hold on to it, break the support, do a little few cleanup with the sandpaper and maybe some few trimming. That's okay. This one was an entire mess of like nightmare, because you have got to have everything else, and also you gotta be careful, which is now I'm gonna discuss about caution and safety. I'm gonna put some interesting fonts on this video. But again, this is not a joke. The resin material is very porous and very viscous, which is very liquid. I do like it, because again, it gives you this fine details, and also with the laser to actually adhere onto there. It's about 0.0 or maybe 100 microns of the thin film, and that's very, very thin, because it's like a thin of the hair. That's how small it is, or maybe much more. I think it's like 0.01, so that's a lot more small, or could be smaller than that. But with safety and kind of be cautious with this one, the material actually gets in your skin and it never comes off unless you hurry up, use the alcohol and remove it as soon as possible, because if you don't remove it right away, it'll get stick to your skin for a long time. And I've been doing that on my skin. It's been very difficult, but I managed to get off with I'm not gonna say it, but again, it came off of my skin. And also too as well, clothes. Be careful about the clothes itself, because you have to use an old clothes that you don't even care if it splashed onto you at like a little small bit, and if it gets in your clothes, it's not gonna come off. It will never ever come off, because it's like a really fine micrograins of the material. Wow, the weed whacker. Okay, sorry about that in the background, but yes, you have to use alcohol, and the alcohol content too as well. You gotta use 91% alcohol. You can't use water. You can't use other toilet cleaning materials. It has to be 91% or 97, actually 91% alcohol, because it'll clean these ones right away. The clear ones, it was very difficult to clean off. It was very sticky at some point, but right now it's already fully cured. That's good. But I love this one, the gray color from the Anycubic. That's why it says UV sensitive resin. And also, this is very sensitive with the alcohols. Most of the time, if I do it right, if I clean it off carefully, most of the time you can actually see the shimmering, which is this little guy right here, the support on this direction over here. Zoom in, there you go. You guys see the little shimmering on top of it rather than compared to this guy. This one, same thing as well, but there's no shimmering, but you can still see some shining because there was some excess material. But again, put it in there, it'll clean off. Now, containers. You gotta choose the right containers for you to clean up, which I found these guys, which is fantastic, and that way it helps me out cleaning out these resin materials. But over time, it's gonna pile up inside of these resin material, which I'm okay with this right now. I can still touch the lid. However, from the inside, you get these little fine little grits from the inside. That's the leftovers of the resin that has been cured in the sunlight, which I did okay right now. Rather than just using my UV light right here on this side to actually cure from the inside, I can just take it outside, leave it out there for an hour or two. That way it'll cure itself. But over time, it'll begin to pile up over and over, and then your alcohol will get dirty and dirty, and it's not gonna be as it should be. Because, and also too as well, it's not gonna clean your resin very well because it'll other resin from the inside, the porosities, it'll stick onto your materials right here. So just give you a heads up on that one. However, this is kind of a downside of it too as well. You cannot throw this stuff away. This material is very difficult to recycle, and it's very, very hard in your plumbing system. If you pour this down in the drain, it's like same thing as the oil. The oil will actually clog up your pipeline, and it'll clog it up. This one's way much worse. It'll go to your pipe system, it'll clog it up over time, but it will never be removed. It's gonna be hard to clean off, and on top of it, it's gonna cost a lot of money to replace those pipe systems. So that's one of the things is gonna be a downside of it. And on top of it too as well, I've been trying to save these up to actually trying to clean these ones. I'm gonna zoom in, this is the very difficult part of all time, where you had to like transfer the bottles from transfer to transfer. This is what looks like right here on the bottle itself, where you have to transfer it. The top one's okay; it's already cleared off. And the bottom one is the excess material that was sitting in the sun that already consumed itself. So it's very, very difficult on this material. It's very, very difficult on how you recycle it. Some people are trying to investigate too as well to actually make a filtration system for a bucket system. It'll just, you pour it down in there into the pipe system, and it'll slowly filter out all that resin material. And I think you can still use the material or resin, which is good. I hope they do that one. But if not, it might be a little bit too thick to actually go back onto this laser stereolithography, or STL. But yes, it's very, very difficult to actually recycle this guy. It's very, very difficult to actually. It's very difficult. Now then, the resin printer itself. First, I do love it. I want to tell you all my own opinion. I love it that it did fantastic on these resin materials. It's 3 times better than the 3D printer if you've done it right, correctly, and trying to hopefully it doesn't fail. But this resin material, I do love it. It's fantastic. It's used for whatever I'm using, like light duty materials, and also as a prototype itself. I have done it with the testing pieces right here. That way it'll give me that one. Gave me the testing of the trophies, did fantastic too as well. And also too as well, it gave me a lot of these keychains. I do love them too as well. It gave me the finer details of it. And it really does fantastic on the models. I do want to do some more of it, but I had to go back into the computer, remodify your original STL. That way you can actually transfer it onto your Resin 3D printer. Now, the downside of it. So, there's a lot of downside of this one that really... It's not good for anybody else. It has to be a specific person like myself to actually know what they're doing and what's the purpose of this resin material. If you just bought it for for have fun or whatnot, I would say take precaution of it. And also, I'm not sure what you could do with it. It's just gonna be used for fun, but again, I'm not sure. But again, it's for hobby materials only. That's it. It can be used for selling, I can say, but again, it's gonna break easily. So if I was gonna do this guy right here, which is the Naruto one, and if anything else does happen, look at this woohoo, and oh no, it broke off easily. And I think you have a very frustrated person right now. So yeah, this is what it looks like right here. And also too as well, your cleaning supplies as well, and also your liquid materials. These liquid materials is not easy to get. The black ones was easy to get, yes, but it came out with this yellow tarnish color that took weeks for it to actually get to a clear white color, which is this guy. I do love right here. This one came out fantastic with a clear see-through, but it's not really exactly a see-through crystal that I want, because you need to clean off some of the excess and that's transfer those clearer ones. Like this, for example, this is really crystal clear, but it's not like really exactly like crystal, like I said. The brown one, the bottle is a lot more expensive. It's a lot more than I expected because of the 500 grams, not that bad, but the other one with the one kilogram, that's a lot. And on top of the two as well, I've been using it for like prototyping, so by right now I stopped because again, I don't know what to use next with it. But again, I can make my cheap keychains, but I want to do more projects with this one right here because I want to go for the limits to see how well it does with the details. That's fantastic. It did fantastic with the Clone Trooper. I love that one. I want to try the next one project too as well, but I need to figure out what type I can use it for this guy. I have started manufacturing, which is great. I do love this guy. I just want to play around with the geometry features. I do love the geometries of it. It does fantastic, but again, it's very, very dangerous. It's not for like everyone to use it. It's very difficult on the resin material because it's very difficult on the as you can see of where I explained it. You have the cleanup, you have the waste material, which is the supports, and then you like figure out how you actually save your alcohol, because there's still alcohol in these containers that I have, but it's contaminated with the other liquid resin materials. So I have to take it outside and let it cure, and also be careful. And also too as well, the biggest one of all with this printer, this thing has a very thin film. The film is a clear plastic material that is underneath the container where the lights actually pass through, because it'll cure it. But it's very, very fragile. If there's a little nick that you hit it, you ruin your plastic and your resin will actually seep through it. And those plastic film is not cheap. It's very, very expensive. Yeah. Now on top of that too as well, you have limited amount of space, but you only get the size. Right now I just got this Mars 2P or Pro because again, it's like a little small space saver. I do like it. I love the size of it. I want to go for another upgrade for a larger one. I love that one too as well. I want to go a little more large because I want to do an assembly line. But this one can be used for as a training system. So I do understand it. I love it. I understood how to actually maneuver it. But also with the settings, I had to like do some more exercises, do some a little more homework to actually see how this one works out. But again, it's a lot to take in, but I want to use this for like other research for like a prototype system for a Counselor company. So that's what we're gonna do right now, just like to see how we can actually manage it. I'm not gonna show you what type of prototype we do have, but again, it did fantastic. Will this be used for forging or blacksmithing? Yeah, it can. I found out that you can actually use wax materials that can work out, but no. The people are saying that it's kind of like a little more difficult to print with it because it's a wax material. So I'm not sure how well it can actually do that. But again, it melted away the wax, and it did fantastic with the jewelry. That's good, but it's kind of difficult to print it with the wax material. So there could be like different ones, but it's expensive as well. So they had to like figure out that one itself. There's some more other ones, but I will show that one next time. It's even better than the resin material or plastic material. I do love it because of the amount of pressure that's being squeezed out of the nozzle, and it varies differently how you actually Z-hop it, where you actually it'll automatically pull the melted plastic up, and then you have to transfer to another location of it, extrude the plastic out, but it'll ruin that surface area, and you don't know if it's gonna bond very well. But with this one right here, the resin material, it bonds fantastic. I do love it how it came out with this testing prototype right here compared to this guy right here, which I now see it right now. With the plastic, it actually bow itself upward, and on top of the sizzle you get lost stringing and also some few errors here and there. But again, it depends on yourself, on your how you actually do your settings on yourself. And also too as well with the same thing with the resin, depends too as well, depending how you actually do your settings. Some of these ones did fantastic, which I do love the settings itself. I didn't touch the settings, but also I rearranged it a little more because they get a little more finer details, which I came out with this T-Rex right here. Yay. It feels like Mrs. Doubtfire, that guy. But again, did fantastic too as well with the settings right here. This one did fantastic, but there's a little warpage, which I'll explain down later on in the future videos about warping on your printers itself. All printers have warpage no matter what, including industrial ones. I did a report about that one with the professor in Navaltech University. Very interesting topic. I did research about that one. Okay, so hopefully this is my opinion on the Resin 3D printer. Can it be used for any hobbies or anything like that? Yes, I do like this one for hobbyists, cosplayers. Very interesting ornaments. Very interesting stuff. But is it useful for other applications and also with the cleanup and cautions? No, that's the downside of it because you have to be careful with it because it's very viscous material. That's why I have these gloves right now, and also with the cleaning materials. And you have a lot of these paper towels I have to use, and that's that. You have to figure out how you actually clean out your material or your cleanup liquid, which is very difficult. And on top of that, how you gotta recycle this stuff too as well. You can't just throw it in the trash. It's gonna be impossible. And after that, I think that's all I can cover for now on this resin material. So hopefully you guys understand it, and hopefully you do have some other different printers itself, which some of you might have it for as a hobby or anything like that. You guys know what you're doing. Congratulations. But for others, if you want to go for this direction, think about 3 times what you're trying to go with this goal with this resin material, and also is it gonna be worth it? So again, is it gonna be worth it to print these guys, which is great, but is it worth it to do these entire areas? So think about it, understand it. I'm not gonna bring it down, guys, down. That's the only thing I want to say. Like I said, it's fun. I love it. That's fantastic. If you're passionate about making these items, that's great. If you have like Blender, which I really love that one too as well, or if you have like different prototyping to actually use for SolidWorks, which that would be amazing too as well, let us know about that one. Go from there. You guys are fantastic. But if not, that's okay. Don't worry. There's these 3D printers, which is the plastic ones. That's okay. It's still like the same versions, just as long as you keep practicing every now and then. Use that the techniques to actually 3D print these plastic materials, because again, printers are meant to be having fun, but also can be used for any type of areas and fields, because again, we want you guys to actually have fun with these ones right now, or can be engaging too as well for any purpose as well. So hope you guys find this interesting right now, and hope you guys actually notice this. Well, actually, you guys know what I'm going to say right now. Hopefully this is going to be interesting. Hope you guys like the video, and hope you guys understand too as well on these printers as well. I'm not going to put you guys down. That's the only thing. That's if you guys want to go for this one, that's fine. Me on the site, I'm just doing it for my prototyping and also as a manufacturer. So I've done a lot of manufacturing, but also I have fun with this one right here. It's very fantastic. I do love it. I want to do some more testing with this guy, with this one. Oh wait, there's one more too. I do love. Hold on, bear back. I thought I had it. What happened to it? Oh well, I'll probably look for it. But again, I was doing this for to test prototyping with my boss from Navaltech University. He wants me to actually print a prototype from the Gallup McKinley High School. So hopefully you guys are having fun over there. But did some few testings for them, and also like a few replicas for everybody else too as well. So we're gonna test this out. This came out fantastic with the this resin. No supports. I do love it. It came out fantastic because again, a lot of details came off of it. It was way much better than the actually it's the same thing as the filament too as well. Same thing, no supports onto it, nothing else except for the one that was the largest one I ever done. I'm gonna do that one next time because it was fantastic. I do love it. It actually did a very fantastic job onto it. So I'm gonna do like a testing on that, or maybe I could do a replica of it on some holidays or some, I don't know, maybe like a good bonus one. So but yeah, so hope you guys like this video. Give me a like, subscribe, and also too as well, look at my web page too as well. It helps me out and give some fundings to me, give some funding to the company as well, because again, this is very helpful for and educational for Navajo community, but also for the Navajo generations as well, because some of them are very interested. We want to get all different genders, everybody else, any race that is very interested into the engineering field. This is what I do for a living as a cosmetic company. I'm not doing it for as a free as a um, um, for profit business right now. A lot of these stuff is not that very cheap. It has to go on with my side that I have worked my energy and put my entire effort onto this area. Because again, you've seen a lot of videos I have done recently about doing these 3D printers. I have done a lot more with the resin materials, but also we want to actually encourage everybody else to actually know that we are doing a lot more than that. Rather than just buying the 3D printers, we want to make our own 3D printers and also add it to manufacturing ourselves. And also we want to do some interesting projects as well with the recycling. There are some interesting areas that is in the recycling area, but we want to do more of that one area. So I appreciate you guys to actually watch this video. Thank you very much. And hopefully you guys understand this video on the Elegoo Mars or any type of resin materials that you do have. But remember, I'm not gonna put you guys down. It's just give you guys a thought and a second, just a reminder what's gonna be ahead of you if you guys prefer the resin material. But again, there's always 3D printers, which is the plastic material, which is safer, which I do recommend that one. So hope you guys like this video. Like I said, like, subscribe, check out our webpage, give us a donations for this interesting field that we're doing, and that way I will continue making these videos. But I will do more videos of these ones because it's my training and I do training for you guys. So thank you very much, and at that, have a good day. See you next time.